doing these braids does not take that long. I'll see if I will add some more beads or if I'm just gonna leave it like this, because I do like it like this as well. This is actually my first time doing feed-in braids. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with another video. Unfortunately, it is not a review of Maîtresse de nos mariés, but I wanted to, you know, do my hair and show you guys. This is kind of the hairstyle that I want, but I want to add some beads to the ends. And this is my pot with beads. And I think it would be fun to show you guys, because I don't even know if this is going to work out. And I do have a surprise, because I actually already started. It's just adding the braiding hair, and I actually also already parted the back. Also, I got this working smart, not hard, because it's such a struggle, and because I decided this last night in the dark, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start parting everything already, so that tomorrow I only have to moisturize my hair and add the braiding hair. So what I'm going to do now is cut the hair in half, feather it, and I'll come back to show you guys how I do the braids in the back. However, it will not be any different from the video where I was box braiding my own hair while I was in Senegal, which I'll add up somewhere in here as well, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Feathering the braiding hair is actually really easy. All you need to do is pluck it and make sure that it does not have a blunt cut anymore. However, it is really messy to work with braiding hair, because it will attach to your clothing, the floor, everything. So make sure you keep it really tight in your hand, especially while you're feathering it and also when you're brushing it. And the only reason I brush it after feathering is to make sure that it does not tangle when I take out the braiding hair that I need for each braid. At the end, I always make a knot to separate the bundles, so to say. Because I already pre-sectioned the back as well, it was really easy for me to actually start braiding. As you know, I start braiding in the back. That hasn't changed since I did my elaborate video on braiding my hair while I was in Senegal in 2018, I believe. If you want to see that video, I will put it up here. Nothing has actually changed. And I braid the same way. For those who don't know how to braid, the idea is to have 3 equal sections, and you have to make sure that the outer sections will always go to the middle. If you start with the left one, you bring it to the middle, then you do the right one and you bring it to the middle, and then you go left, right, left, right, and the only one that doesn't really have to go anywhere is the one in the middle. So you only have to move the outer 2, and it's just a little dance, and it continues until the braiding hair is finished. So I finished all the braids in the back, and I actually started adding some beads. But anyways, I'm actually really anxious about this step, because I have never done feed-in braids, and I do not know how this is gonna end up. So but what I wanted to say about these braids that I already did is that normally when I do cornrows, I always it always gets tangled. So now that I actually already did the cornrows, the hair cannot be tangled, so I cannot accidentally grab hair from this row or the other row. So now everything is at least neat, tucked away, and safe from my greedy fingers. My hair is detangled. I'm just gonna use some shea butter for this part. What you want to do is measure the braid as you would braid a normal braid, and then section off. Here I'm starting off the cornrow with my own hair. I will link the video that I watched before actually doing the braids on myself here. So after a few stitches, as they call it, I start adding the braiding hair. And what is important is that the first braiding hair that you add is a small piece, otherwise the braid will look a bit crooked at the beginning already. Also, if you want to have a smooth transition as to the braid getting like thicker but like gradually thicker, then you have to start the braid with your own hair first and then gradually adding smaller pieces of braiding hair. The idea is actually to keep adding braiding hair until the cornrow is finished. However, you do want to make sure that at the end the braid is as thick as the other braids, or at least thick enough to hold the beads without burning the hair or without using a rubber band. Of course, you can make this choice for yourself, because if you want to burn the hair, it doesn't really matter how thick or thin the braid is. But I wanted to do the beads without any rubber bands or any knots or burning the braid. After finishing the first braid, of course I had to check if it didn't look funny or crazy, but I think it looked alright, so I decided to undo each braid separately and then add the braiding hair. And I used the same technique for each cornrow. So I started the braid with my own hair first. I did a few stitches with no braiding hair, and then I gradually started adding the braiding hair. And a good learning point from this experience for me personally is that the next time I will add the same amount of braiding hair, but I will break it up in tinier bits, because if you look closely you can actually sometimes tell where I added the braiding hair, and that is something you want to avoid. I was really excited about getting this hairstyle. It was actually my first time, and I think I did a pretty good job, and I know that I can do an even better job. And I think a part of that is just adding the braiding hair in even more smaller sections, If you want a more step-by-step tutorial as to how to exactly do these feed-in braids, I definitely recommend watching the video of Asia May, which I will put up here again. Just remember that it's okay. You may not get it the first time, but practice will make perfect. I was actually joking with a friend when I told her I was going to do this hairstyle, and she really wanted me to keep her updated, and I did. But I also told her that she may not see this video because it may not come out the way I wanted it. But eventually I have to say that I did a pretty good job, especially for the first time. And I still have these braids in. It has been a week and a half, and I definitely recommend this braiding style, especially if you are tired of putting a lot of pressure on your edges, for example, with individual box braids. I think I will redo this hairstyle when it will grow out, and honestly, I have to say that I only used 1.5 packs, and normally when I do individual box braids, I actually use all 3 packs, meaning that that is really heavy on my head, and this is really so comfortable. And if I would want to, I could even wear the braids longer, and it would actually be still lighter than a whole head of individual box braids. There are different ways that you can add the beads to the braids. One of the ways is to use the tool that comes with the beads, and you actually put a row of beads on the tool, then you pull the end of the braid through the eye, and then you can just shove it upwards and it will be on the braid. The other way is to actually fold the braid at the end where it is really thin, and you can loop it through each bead. I would recommend this way only before you add the braids to the hot water. Otherwise, I would recommend you putting it in the hot water again. So here I was actually continuing the braids, and I'm still using the same technique. For the first part of the cornrow, I use my own hair, and then I gradually start adding the braiding hair. And this part was actually tricky because for the shorter braids, you have to add the braiding hair faster and probably thicker, because otherwise they will never be as thick as the other braids. Here it may look like I was already done, but I wasn't. I was just admiring my own braiding skills, and it looked very neat. Here I'm showing you again how you can add the beads with a little tool, and you just shove it onto the braids. Hey guys, I have finished. So here I was finally done, and this was the end result, and I am super proud of myself because this was the first time trying. So this is what the front looks like. I have 18 cornrows and 26 individual braids in the back. And this is what the back looks like. I only used 1.5 packs. I have finished. I cut the hair in half. These are the feathered ends. So what I'll do is put the ends in water and see if I will be adding more beads. I may add some more beads. I may leave it like this. Here I was dipping the hair in hot water, and in the next clip I will show you how you can actually rectify any mistakes, or if you want the hair to be even straighter. It's a bit crazy, so I'm going to grab the water again. again. See, it corrects a lot better. Even this, I can dip it in there once more and it will be corrected. Yes, and that is, if you are insecure about losing the beads, you can actually just make a knot. You can just knot it like this. If you want, you can burn it right here, but that's a little bit too much effort for me. Yes, I am back. I have dipped the ends in hot water and this is the result. I'm quite happy with it, and even with my braiding skills, because I didn't think I was able to do this. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Senegalese Twisted. And I hope to see you guys on Tuesday for the review of Maîtresse d'un homme marié.